Hi, welcome back. Let us now continue our discussion regarding the human and animal power. So for the introduction, we are already done with discussing the human and draft animals. So let's now proceed to the engine and electric motor. So for the engine, engine and electric motors can provide a greatest power than the first two, but it depends upon, of course, the size of the engine. So it can provide roughly at around 10 times or greater than the animal can provide. So imagine one draft animal is equivalent, one engine is equivalent to around 10 draft animals. So it can provide greatest or greater power than the animal. Okay. While the electric motors here, of course, can also provide a greater power than the human animal, but it is mostly utilized in post-harvest equipment and facilities. Since it needed electric sources of power for the electric motor, the location and the must have the electric power. Okay, so it's usually used in post-harvest operations, like for example during the blowers for your flatbed dryers, for here for the rice milling equipment or rice mill equipment, for the packet elevators, for for the chipper or the shredder of, uh, of biomass waste, like the stalks and branches of the trees, and mostly for stationary works. Okay. We're in here for the engine. It usually used to drive the machines like the combine harvester, the tractors. We use engine to to drive the transplanter and so on. So usually these engine source of power here are being used in the machines during the land preparation and land preparation, crop crop uh, crop growth, and during the harvesting period. So it is mostly used during the harvesting period, okay, while the electric motors are used during the post-harvest period. Okay, let me clarify to you the additional terms. We have the pre-harvest. So these are processes before harvest. By the word pre, it is the processes or the agricultural operations before harvest. So what are those? It includes the land prep, the crop protection, including the weeding, the fertilizer application. What else? We have the land prep, we have the crop protection, we have the crop growth, during the crop growth, the irrigation, those activities are example of pre-harvest, meaning before harvest, all the activities you've done before harvest season. Okay. So um, for the harvest, of course, we have here the reaping, the sowing, the cutting, the picking of mature fruits, picking, what else? The term for our agricultural operations during harvest. The harvesting of livestock, chicken, poultry, the fish, and so on. So those are the agricultural operations during harvesting. While the agricultural operations after harvest is what we call the post-harvest. Again, we have the pre-harvest, we have the harvest, and then we have the post-harvest. So the post-harvest includes operations after harvest. So what are those? It includes the drying, milling, size reduction. For example, from a dried dried corn, need to make a corn flour. Okay, size reduction. What else? During the washing, cleaning, trimming, those are the post-harvest operations. Okay. So once again, for the primary sources which use engine, it's usually, but of course not all the time, used during the pre and harvest operations. Okay, since most of those activities includes outdoor activities or inside or on-site at the farm activities, so there is the electric source is maybe not available in that area or not convenient to use the electric sources. While the electric motor is usually again uses during the post-harvest operations and stationary operations. Okay. So again, there are 4 primary sources. What are those? Human, draft animal, engine, and electric motors. So for the comparison here, we have the different power sources. So it is from the ERI or rice production manual of the rice production manual. So this table here shows the different power sources to plow 1 hectare. So this is true for the plowing operation of a 1 hectare field. So you have here the human. We have 2 animals. So it is a 2 draft animal. It didn't specify here which kind of animal it is, if it is a horse, carabao, or if it is average. We have also here the 2-wheel tractor and the 4-wheel tractor. Okay. So for the to plow 1 hectare, as you can see here, it needs 1 kilowatt. So the unit of power can be in terms of kilowatt or in terms of what do you call this? In terms of horsepower, HP. Okay. So again, kilowatt and HP is the unit of power. Okay. So for to plow 1 hectare field, we need 1 kilowatt power of 2 animals. And then for the 2-wheel tractor, we have 12 kilowatt, and for 4-wheel tractor, we have 40 kilowatts. Okay. So for the distance, okay, let's for the distance, if we compare the human, animals, and the tractor to plow 1 hectare, as you can see here, the human can move the or 100 truckload soil can move 750 cubic meters or 100 truckload soil, while the animal can only move the distance of 50 kilometers, while the 2-wheel tractor can for the 2-wheel tractor, the distance to plow 1 hectare is 20 kilometers and the 4-wheel tractor is 5 kilometers. Okay. So for the time needed to plow 1 hectare field, for human, as you can see here, it needs 120 to 140 days in order for him to plow 1 hectare, wherein for the 2 animals, it only takes 10 to 12 days to plow 1 hectare. But for the for the two-wheel tractor, two-wheel and four-wheel tractor, it only needs about 1 to 2 hours to finish the job. Okay, as you can see here, the comparison between the human, it takes more time since it can only move 50 cubic meter or 100 truckload soil during plowing, while the two animals can move 50 kilometers of soil during plowing. So it only takes 10 to 12 days to finish the job since it uh, takes more distance than the human. While for the two-wheel tractor and four-wheel tractor, it only takes it can plow 5 to 20 kilometers. So it can finish the job within 1 to 2 hours for 1 hectare plowing. Okay. So there are also hours or days, and then we have the energy and then the work. So that is the comparison between the human, the animal, and the four-wheel tractor according to the ERI. So on our next video, we will discuss the basic mechanics of the human and draft animal power. By the way, according to the International Commission of Agricultural Engineering 1999, animal power counts for about 20% of agricultural mechanization in developing countries. So we are also included in the what we call developing countries. So here, according to CIGR, animal power counts 20% of our agricultural mechanizations. Okay, human power accounts for 70%. So mostly we we at the developing countries uses a human power, and then next we use animal power, and then lastly we have the mechanical power. So it is the both the engine and electric motors power. So this data here is for developing countries. So most of us use human power as according to CIGR. So in the next video, again, we will discuss about the basic mechanics of draft or human and draft animal. See you on our next video.